This week, we take you to Florida's spectacular Atlantic coast.
To the historic coast near St. Augustine, America's oldest city.
We experience the fun, the culture, and then we take you south along the Atlantic to one of the best beachside camping spots in all of Florida.
Come on along and see why Florida's Atlantic coast belongs on your bucket list.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to, well, where are we going? We don't know for sure. We're going to Florida. We're going to this time do the East Coast, the Atlantic side. And this is all research for one of our 7-day adventure guides. We did one on the Gulf Coast last week, and this week, the East Coast.
To the East Coast.
Now, we boondocked tonight. We're leaving from a school in Bethlehem, Georgia. We're down doing videos, making a movie of my grandson's senior year as a high school football player. They won last night, 10-7, and
27-3.
or no, yeah, 27-3.
Your last week.
Oh, that was the game before they won.
They lost last
Yeah,
week.
that was so. The folks at this school, in typical Southern hospitality, we asked, and they said, "You guys can stay right here in our parking lot," and we did, and it was great.
It was better than any campground that we've been in for a long time.
Yeah.
It was just delightful. There's nice green areas, lots of space. They were very kind and gracious to let us stay here.
Really nice place. So now we're off. Our first destination is St. Augustine, Florida. It's the oldest city in America. And it's got a lot to see and lots of great places for RVers to camp, and that's going to be one of our 7-day adventure guide stops. And we're going to get some pictures there, and then we're going to head on south. A couple of other places we got planned for this week. So we don't know what to expect along this way, as usual, but we invite you to come with us.
Let's get going.
KOA on the road in our Chevrolet. Turn right at the Texaco. Then anywhere we want to go, I know I'm gonna get there next to you. And baby, I know wherever we go, got the wind at our backs and the sun coming through our windows, burning down the tread on 4 wheels. High on life and loving you, we can do whatever we want to.
We're near Macon, Georgia, and we're driving back roads. This happens to be US 23 in Georgia. Now, we choose back roads all the time, and you should too. Over to our west is I-75. That's the way most people get to Florida. We try and drive the back roads as often as we can. Why? Well, look, there's no traffic. I mean, we have these roads pretty much to ourselves. Now, we time our travel so that we don't ever start until after morning rush hour, and then we try and stop wherever we are, early afternoon or so, because every place has a rush hour. Every town has a rush hour. This is so peaceful. Jennifer's taking a nap back there, and Bo is my co-pilot. Isn't that right, Bo? That's right.
Mike, I am not taking a nap. I'm just enjoying sitting back here. A little different seat, a little different view. And I got to figure out how I'm going to get my seat back from home.
Pulling out of that KOA on the road in our Chevrolet. Turn right at the Texaco. Then anywhere we want to go, I know I'm going to get there next to you.
At the roundabout, take the second exit on Riverside Drive.
Our first destination is St. Augustine on the Atlantic coast in northeastern Florida, a vibrant seaside community steeped in history and tradition with lots to see and do.
St. Augustine, as the oldest city in the U.S., is located on what is known as Florida's historic coast. And we want to show you some of the many attractions and sights that caught our eye as we explored the area.
First stop is Old Town, home of the Old Town Jail and some exhibits about Florida's first pioneer RVers from well over a century ago.
Okay, you think we have some challenges when we're boondocking? We could do it like this.
They called them tin can tourists. The old Model Ts were fashioned into campers.
But tourism really started even earlier than that in Florida. In the 1800s, these guys, called cracker settlers, came in covered wagons, and they're ready for whatever would come their way. Took all their gear with them, and yes, they boondocked too.
When you come to a city with a lot of history like St. Augustine, make sure you get a tour. Any city with lots of history, you need the tours because you're going to miss something and you don't want to miss anything, and there was so much to see.
St. Augustine, of course, is the nation's oldest city, founded in 1565, and the centerpiece of the city is this place. This is the Castillo de San Marcos. It is about a 350-year-old Spanish fort. The whole city is laid out really with this fort guarding it.
Tell you who you are again?
I'm a Spanish soldier from the 1600s. I built this place. Of course, I had some help, and luckily the Fountain of Youth is nearby. I'm not wearing a uniform. No uniforms in the 1600s. The other soldiers you're going to see firing a cannon, they're dressed in uniform in the 1700s. This is guy fashion for Europe for the 1600s. And if you saw me on the streets, you'd know right away that I'm the most macho, masculine-looking warrior you've ever seen in your life. The more feathers in a man's hat, the more masculine the look. The longer a man's hair, like I wear mine, the more masculine the look. The more lace and ruffles, the more masculine the look. You ever see the Three Musketeer movies?
Voila.
I like to think I'm better looking than those guys, but I know better. But at least we're dressed the same.
Dashing.
Thank you.
Just across the causeway from downtown St. Augustine is Anastasia Island and the Anastasia Island State Park, where there's a great beach with sand dunes and wide open spaces.
If you're lucky, in the very early springtime, you might catch a glimpse of whales just offshore. And onshore, you're pretty much guaranteed to see grass-nibbling tortoises. For RVers, there's a great campground and a gate for nighttime security.
Most campgrounds have gates these days. Gates to get in, to get out, maybe an area where the dogs get to go, or even a code to get into the bathroom. Do you ever find yourself forgetting the code for where you are now? Get your cell phone, take a picture of those numbers, and then you're set.
From the historic coast, we headed south, hugging the beach on Highway A1A to a spot about halfway between St. Augustine and Daytona Beach. There, we were lucky to snag a beachfront camping spot at one of Florida's most sought-after state parks, the Gamble Rogers Memorial Recreation Area.
And here is our camping site at Gamble Rogers, and now you know why they are in such high demand.
We are just maybe a dozen steps from the Atlantic Ocean. To get a site here, you need to reserve like a year in advance, or like we were, get lucky by just showing up and being able to take advantage of a cancellation. Either way, whether you have to reserve long in advance or whether you stumble upon it like we do, make sure this is on your bucket list.
Very nice.
Let's show them the water.
Park is a gate that gives you access to another area of the beach that's dog friendly.
The Atlantic side of Florida is very different from the Gulf side. The Gulf tends to be much calmer. The sand, particularly in the northern end of the Gulf, is this sugar white sand. On the Atlantic side, of course, you've got massive waves, and the sand is a little more coarse, it's tan-colored, beautiful. There's nothing like a real ocean. And the Atlantic side, from Jacksonville all the way down to the Keys, is spectacular.
There are 68 campsites at Gamble Rogers, about half on the Atlantic side and the other half are on the intercoastal. Personally, I like the Atlantic side. I love the sound of the waves. I just like it there. And a lot of people prefer the intercoastal sites. They're a little bit bigger, a little more space, a little quieter. The intercoastal waterways are great for kayaking, canoeing, and fishing. There are nature trails that wander all over this park. And between the Atlantic side and the intercoastal side, there is something for everybody. Okay, Bo, you see this? Bo, right here. Alligators! No swimming! We gotta be alert, boy. A greater danger than alligators, I think, are fishing lures that fishermen carelessly discard. This one was just laying on the grass, and Bo could have very easily stepped on it, or somebody without shoes could have stepped on it. All somebody had to do was walk 25 feet and put it in here. Be responsible. Keep the waterways tangle-free, fish hook-free. Put it in here. Be done with it. It's safe. Nobody's going to step on it, dog or person. This is one of the most beautiful sites we've ever camped at, if not the most beautiful site. I love it here. I love the sound of the waves and the water, and to be able to cook out and listen to this and look at how beautiful it is. Just wonderful. We're going to have some grilled chicken tonight. I'm going to put a little oil on the grill, see if that'll keep the chicken from sticking. Got to use what I got. So this is marinated overnight. I made extra because we'll eat it for lunch tomorrow.
Everybody always asks me every time I show it, what is this grill we have? And it is a Coleman grill. I don't even know if it has a model number. We
I'm
have
sure
had,
it has a Coleman grill.
we have had how many of these that
We've had a lot of them.
Same, man. Here,
And
let's
actually,
see.
we heard somebody telling us about going to a marine store and buying their grill there. And I think we're going to check into that.
This has worked so well for us. I have no desire to turn it in because it's so
Well,
easy.
in case something happens to it, I want to check out these marine grills that the boaters use.
Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes. This is always one of those special times of the day. It's calm, the sun is setting, it's really beautiful. The water, of course, is great. But a part of you wishes the day wouldn't end. And you can see the sun in our face. You know, the sun west is that way because east is that way in the Atlantic. And I kind of hate to see the day end, and yet it is so beautiful.
This day has gone by so quickly. I'm so glad we've got tomorrow.
But then again, I'm getting pretty hungry, so that chicken's smelling pretty good. Hey, Bo. Look what I got. I got to cool this off for you. It's pretty hot. Yeah, I'm not going to eat it. It's hot. Oh, yeah. You're licking your chops, aren't you? You're licking your chops. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. This is kind of the cook's reward. You gotta make sure it's done. Pretty good. That marinade really makes a difference.
Why is it that everything tastes better when you cook it outside? Okay,
It's done.
I believe so.
There's the grilled chicken. And we have a avocado salad.
And green beans.
And did you say green beans?
We have green beans.
Green beans.
We love eating out, but it tastes so much better. It just is so much better for you to cook your own food, and it's fun to be a team effort and prepare your food and eat in your cozy little second home.
And listen, can you hear that out there? I mean, we're serenaded by the pounding surf of the ocean right outside our window. This is awesome. And that's the timer telling me it's time to eat.
So that's our trip along Florida's beautiful Atlantic coastline.
If you'd like to see some more of our trips, just click on that video right there. We're Mike and Jennifer Wendland. Please don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell icon. That way you will be notified of our next video. But right now, go to the next video and follow our adventures.